I want to run through some examples of drawing vector fields. And we're really doing this the same way we would do like graphing when we didn't know what anything looked like. We're just going to plug in some points and see what happens. So the points I'm plugging in, what do I feed F?
Easy though.
Yeah, I need to feed an easy ordered pair, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get out some kind of little vector. So I'm going to draw that little vector at that ordered pair. So what's the first vector you feed to F?
Always 0, 0.
Probably the origin, right?
But that goes nowhere.
Okay, so 0, 0 has output vector
0, 0.
0, so I don't need an arrow there. Okay, what's your second favorite point?
1, 0.
Yeah, 1, 0.
1, 0, right? Okay, so I go over here, I'm based at 1, 0, and I'm thinking, what do I get out when I feed 1, 0 to F?
1, 0, 1, 0.
So what's F of 1, 0? It's
1, 0.
1, 0? Okay, so how do I draw that?
It's 1 unit to the right, up, and then X
Along the
axis.
x-axis.
1 unit right, no units up.
Yeah.
And it's based, right, at the point I put in. So then I know where that thing goes. You guys see that? This is me drawing a graph, but I have kind of 4 dimensions, right? There's 2 input variables and a 2-dimensional output vector. That's hard to draw unless I do this kind of silly thing. So I'm graphing input is the dot, output is the vector. Where's your next favorite input?
1, 1.
1, 1. Okay, so there's 1, 1. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's F of 1, 1?
2, 1.
That's 2, 1. So that one goes
Out 2, up 1.
okay, out 2, up 1. So I get some vector like this. Cool.
Yeah.
And again, that's an input, output, right? What's your next favorite point after that?
0, 1.
0, 1. Okay, so 0, 1 goes to
1, 1.
1, 1. Okay, so I'm going over 1, up 1. Something like that.
Yeah.
Feels like we're shooting a shotgun.
How about, what's your next favorite point?
0, -1.
Go around in a square, right?
Fine.
So -1, 1 gives you out
0, 0, 1.
0, 1.
Up.
So which way does 0, 1 go?
It's straight up.
Straight up. 1 unit. Okay. How about -1, 0?
-1, 0. That'd just be 1 unit to the left.
Yeah. So that'll give me -1, yeah, 0. So I'll get 1 unit to the left for my output arrow. How about down here?
-1, -1.
At -1, -1.
Down, down 1, 2 to the left.
So
2 to the left, down 1.
-2, -1. So left 2, 1, 2, down 1.
And then 0, -1.
Okay. Tell me a story about 0, -1.
Yeah, negative. 1 to the left and 1 down. And then 1, -1.
Okay.
Goes straight down. You're just going straight down. Yeah.
Goes straight down. Okay. So,
So it almost performs like a square root on one side of this bar or the
yeah. So maybe I should ask myself something like,
cube root.
how easy would it be for me to go like that way in this flow? Like if this was water flowing, it'd be chill for me to go that way, right?
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
How annoying would it be for me to go from here to here?
Pretty hard.
It'd probably be hard, right? Why?
The shape, I'm not pretty sure.
Wait, is it steep going that way?
So what does a vector field mean, right? Is it steep going that way is a good question. Maybe a better interpretation would be, is it fast that way?
Yeah. So,
So-
we'd be going against that really fast speed.
Yeah, so these vectors are longer, right?
I'm thinking of like gradient, like the hard way up.
So then it would be.
Yeah, so this, if I do a gradient, right? The gradient points in the direction uphill, right?
So this is just like the faster way to go.
So the gradient, right, is pointing uphill on that surface. But if I thought about it as a fluid flow, right, then it's easy to follow the arrows and hard to come against them. That's a good dichotomy, right? If it's a gradient, of course, it's hard to walk on that direction in the surface. Right? But if I think about it as fluid flow, then it's easy to go that direction.
So if it was water on the opposite side, would it be hard to come like this way?
This way?
So is it, the water is like
Yeah, so the water's,
starting from the middle and it's hard to come pretty much anyway?
yeah, it sort of seems like that, right? You guys see that?
This-
It'd be hard for me to come into the middle,
Yeah, it looks
right? Probably be easy for me to go out from the middle. A question about like what's happening from here to here.
like.
That's a hard question to answer with vector fields. Why?
Because that's only that specific little point.
Yeah, really, I have information about the ends and I don't know what's happening in the middle.
You need like a million of them. Yeah.
I could plot some more points in the middle, right?
Yeah.
If I did, what would they tell me?
We don't know.
For instance, if they looked a little bit like what I think they would look like, something like this,
Oh, yeah.
they'd all be crossed to the direction I'm moving, right? So they're not helping or hurting. They're just kind of flowing past you.
Okay.
You guys see that? Okay. So that's that one. Let's see if we can draw this other one.
That looks funky.
So I want to draw f of x and y is minus y I plus xj, which we could rewrite, right, as
Negative y.
the vector minus y x. So,
You already have 2 points already.
okay, I drew some points. I got 1, 0 points straight up, 1, 1 points back, 1 up 1, and negative 1, 0 points straight down 1.
Oh, you got 3. Oh, okay. Well,
So let's do the rest.
Probably because there's no negative
0, 1.
0, 1 is this one,
Yeah.
and it points
It points straight down.
0, 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0, 1.
Yeah, it points
Yeah,
straight
it
down.
points
0,
straight.
negative 1.
It'd be
Negative 1, 0.
Oh, it's a
negative 1, 0, so it should point straight left.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
Yeah, this one's a.
How about this guy? Where's negative 1, 1 point?
Negative 1, negative 1. So
Negative 1, negative 1, down and left one.
Yeah.
So what the heck?
Spiral, maybe?
It looks like.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Yeah, like
Spiral?
spiraling a bit.
Let's see.
Spiral?
It'll be 1.
Well, would it kind of come
No,
out just
because that
circles?
one causes something.
Yeah, Mark's got it. Say that louder.
Just a bunch of circles.
Yeah, it's a bunch of circles. If you put some blob of fluid in this thing, it's just gonna flow around. You guys see that? This is an eddy.
An eddy.
Yeah, like in a river.
Got a whirlpool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Right, it's just a bunch of water spinning slowly in a circle.
Okay.
They're a nice spot for, you know, fishing for floats in the rivers. Like people. Kayakers use them, right? When you come around a rock in a river. You think about fluid flow in a river, right? It's a bunch of water hitting the front of this rock. If it wraps the rock, it's gonna do something kind of like this. We'll make this little spiral in there. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Depending on how big the rock is and how fast things are, that can be a pretty big hole. It can be a nice big calm spot.
Okay.
So do
Cool.
you do on circuit? So you do search and rescue calls?
Mhm.
Do you do that like every week?